up, you guys? And what's up, Sussex Squad, baby? How y'all doing today? Because if you are Prince Harry, your ne'er-do-well father played you once again. Once again. But if there's a silver lining, the biggest loser out of this is William and his whole PR campaign that he's been posting himself up for the last few months since the coronation, that he's ready to rule and Charles needs to step aside, has completely dissolved in front of all of us. He has now proved that he is a coward, he is weak, and he is not ready to lead. And when anything goes wrong in his life, he can't be bothered. Y'all, William let it be known that his father with cancer is going to have to keep on doing his job because he's busy taking care of Kate. We will talk about that in a second, because at the end of the day, I'm sick of William acting like they don't have 60 hand servants waiting on them, hand and foot, waiting on them to do everything they need. Stop acting like you're taking care of Kate, because you are not. Now, the real question is, we'll talk about that in a second, but let's get back to Harry and Charles and what we know. Okay, Charles called Harry. Harry came running, as any child would when they hear that their father has some type of cancer diagnosis. Now, the real question is, what did they tell Harry? What did he come running for? There's a lot of things on Twitter talking about some Kate, mourning clothes, all this stuff. I made a bunch of videos about that. We're not going to get into those theories, but I will say that whatever they told Harry, it was so significant that Harry dropped everything he was doing, left his wife and children, okay, and he ran to be at his father's side. Now, interestingly enough, Charles literally, I'm just going to say it, Harry has a good heart. Charles always plays him. Meghan sees Harry and Camilla for their works. I think that's why she stayed home. Now, before y'all say, oh my God, the meeting went great. No, it didn't. Because what did Charles do? Okay. He played Harry. First of all, Harry has known for a couple of weeks that his father had cancer. It was in one of the articles written by the Daily Mail and the Mirror. Go ahead and Google it. It's easily verifiable. Charles told William and Harry about his cancer weeks before. Harry wanted immediately to come out and see his father. However, with Buckingham Palace's urging, they said if you immediately come out, people are going to think something's wrong. Charles doesn't want his prognosis to be made public yet. Can you wait until he announces it to the public that he has cancer? And then, of course, you can come immediately. As to his word, as soon as they announced it, Buckingham Palace, not Harry, but Buckingham Palace also announced that Harry was on his way to be at his father's side. Now, interesting enough, remember I said there was a biggest loser? Being played by Charles is one thing. Again, the heart wants what it wants, okay? Being played by Charles is one thing. But the one thing that we can say is that when it comes to Harry and when it comes to William, William looked like the biggest loser. Harry flew across the ocean to be at his father's side. William lives in the same town as Charles. He has not visited him. He's barely talked to him. He's been very busy yelling at the staff, I guess, to look after Kate better. But let's also not forget, okay? Let's also not forget that he's also been complaining that he really can't work that much, okay? Now get this, right? Things that we know. Harry dropped the case around the time that they found out that Charles has cancer. Let's also not forget that article that William planted about how he blames Harry for causing Charles's cancer. A dumb headline, but when you get into the article, they have a royal source, okay? They have a royal source saying that, of course, the stress of everything going on with Harry and the lawsuit and everything like that is one of the reasons Charles fell sick. And if Charles dies, William will blame him because he'll have blood on his hands. Again, it's a dumb article, but let's not forget that William's goal is not to say anything sensical. It's to give the derangers and the royalists something to hold on to and to hate Harry even more. Even though one could argue you have an 80-year-old man out there working like the rent is due, of course. But let's think about what was actually in that case and why was it so important? That case, the defamation against the Daily Mail, is the thing that started it all. Because Harry said he was suing, Charles literally pulled away Harry and Meghan's security, threw them out of the country, took away their housing, took away everything, unleashed a smear campaign. Even though it is just one part of his case, he dropped the most important part, the part that William and Charles were ready to sacrifice him over. Now, why was that case so important, right? We know the logistics, but there had to be something that was going to come out in the court case that everybody, except for Harry, was scared of coming out. I do believe Harry dropped it when he found out his father was sick, okay? Let's also not forget that the British royal media knew he was coming. They were stalking him every single minute. From the time he landed, the whole route he was taking to see his father, also when he got there. Let's also not forget that it looks like Harry was promised security, but like everything that Charles and the royals do, which is why I would never make a deal with those devils, because at the end of the day, nothing at all is guaranteed. Nothing at all is guaranteed, because as soon as he made that deal with them, this is the sad part, right? First of all, when Harry entered, a helicopter landed at the exact minute that Charles took the meeting with Harry. That was a helicopter that was taking Charles to Sandringham. Harry was not invited to Sandringham. Harry was not allowed to go to Sandringham. Harry, after he flew 15 hours, was allowed a 30 to 45 minute presence with his father. Now, here's the gag, right? They got the photo op, even Charles looking tearful. Camilla knows what she's doing. They got the photo op. On top of that, right? He got a security escort there. They took the security away. Harry left with no security to stay at a hotel. They didn't even let him stay in one of their 200 rooms. They didn't let him stay in Frogmore Cottage. They let him do nothing. Charles got the photo op looking like a caring father who wants to be close to his son, but William won't let me. Do you see how William's the biggest loser, but Charles comes out as the winner at all this? He wasn't escorted out by security, and Harry would not have gone overseas to the UK without a promise of security. Harry is paranoid, rightfully so, that something would happen to him or his children. He knows what happened to his mama. He knows the threats that are out there. There's no way in the world Harry would have traveled to the UK without security. The fact that he left that meeting with no security, here's the real gag. I think they're waiting for Harry to leak the fact. I wonder, did Harry even get to meet with Charles, or did he keep Harry waiting for 45 minutes and then said, "Dear boy," and ran out to see his helicopter? Imagine the fact that your second son, you only have two, fly everywhere to come see you, and you only give him at most 45 minutes and have a helicopter touch down as you're landing in to send a signal to all the media that this isn't going to be a long meeting. Again, William was furious about it, but again, has Camilla and Charles's fingers all over it. William, in one fell swoop, he made himself look like a selfless father ready to forgive his son and embrace him, but the future king won't let him. He also looks like he is down for the country. Don't you know he's working with cancer? And William looks like a cowardly, petty, short-sighted, mean individual, which is to say that William looks like exactly who he is and exactly who he's always promised himself to believe. I'm not meeting with Harry. Don't you know? I can't work. My wife's recovering from abdominal surgery. However, my 80-year-old father, my 80-year-old father is going to resume full-time work while he has cancer, and I can't be bothered. Listen, William fought. He fought for this moment. And when he finally got his time, he folded. He literally turned into Jello. Y'all, he finally quieted William's rumors that he's been pushing since the coronation, that Charles should step aside because William's ready to rule. Even the British media, the Daily Mail, is saying that William is not ready to rule, and thank God they have Charles. You guys, listen. Never underestimate anything Camilla and Charles did. These are the same people that buried Diana. And I pray that Harry's learned his lesson with his father. Again, shout out to Meghan Markle for recognizing the demons that they were. And all y'all in my comments about, Tisa, leave them alone, it's family. Baby, this is how the evil and the tyranny is allowed to go on. They don't look at Harry as family. They have said that he is completely ostracized. He will never be allowed back in. I hope Harry remembers that, but honestly, rejection sometimes is protection. Shout out to Charles and Camilla for being as skillful as I've ever seen. William and Kate don't stand a chance. Speaking of which, I have a few videos about where the F is Kate, because baby, we ain't forget. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.